Welcome to StockInvest, where we bring you the latest market updates before the trading day begins. Today, United States stock futures are showing signs of slipping as investors digest new developments in trade policies and inflation figures. As the markets brace for these changes, we will dive into the key factors influencing today's trends. First up, United States stock futures are pointing lower. Investors are assessing President Trump's tariff plans and preparing for the release of fresh producer price data. As of early morning, Standard & Poor's 500 futures are down by 32 points. NASDAQ 100 futures have dropped 163 points, and Dow futures have decreased by 150 points. Despite the lower futures, the indices had mixed results at the close of yesterday's trading. The Standard & Poor's 500 and NASDAQ 100 saw gains, largely due to a surge in technology stocks, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended on a lower note after a volatile session. The reading of United States inflation was tame, offering some relief to equities. Economist James Riley comments on the situation, noting the need for clarity in trade policy and signs of economic resilience to shift market sentiments. This underscores the delicate balance between inflation data and trade policy outcomes that the markets are currently navigating. Turning to inflation updates, the market is keenly watching the release of the Producer Price Index. Economists predict a cooling of the Producer Price Index to 3.3% from 3.5% year-over-year for February, with a month-on-month slowdown from 0.4% to 0.3%. Wednesday's consumer price data showed lower-than-expected increases, a positive sign for the Trump administration as it continues to overhaul international trade relationships. Such figures could bolster hopes for Federal Reserve interest rate cuts later in the year. Despite these potentially positive developments, concerns linger over how Trump's tariff policies might influence inflationary pressures in the near future. Analysts warn of potential economic threats if trade tensions escalate further. In trade talks, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and United States Trade Representative Jamieson Greer are expected to meet with Ontario's Premier Doug Ford today. Their discussion will likely focus on renewing the United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The meeting follows the United States' imposition of expansive tariffs on steel and aluminum. In retaliation, Canada has announced counter-tariffs on United States goods worth billions, highlighting the ongoing trade friction between the two countries. Earlier this week, tensions flared when Ford threatened to impose a surcharge on electricity exports to the United States. However, following negotiations and a threat of increased tariffs from Trump, Ford temporarily suspended this trade measure. On the corporate front, Intel has announced the appointment of Lip-Bu Tan as the new chief executive officer, a move that has positively impacted its stock in after-hours trading. Tan will step into the role on March 18th. Tan succeeds interim co-chief executive officers David Zinsner and Michelle Johnston Holthouse. Analysts view his appointment as a long-term positive for Intel, although challenges remain as the company realigns with the evolving semiconductor market. In a communication to employees, Tan expressed his vision to restore Intel's status as a leading product company and to build a robust foundry unit. His leadership is expected to guide the tech giant through a critical transition period. Shifting to the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin is relatively stable today after recent losses, floating around $82,760.03. The softer-than-expected United States consumer price data has provided a slight boost to sentiment. Despite this stability, gains in Bitcoin are limited by the broader market's risk-averse mood, fueled by ongoing trade war concerns and potential recession fears. Bitcoin's recent dip below $80,000 underscores the volatility driven by these uncertainties. Meanwhile, potential regulatory developments and dip buying have helped Bitcoin manage a mild recovery. Yet traders remain cautious, keeping a close watch on geopolitical and economic shifts that could impact the cryptocurrency sector. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Have a great trading day ahead, and we will see you in our next report. Stay informed and invest wisely.